I'm Kristina Wischnowsky from Higher Access. Alrighty, so the first lesson I learned was it's irrelevant to have a conversation about the cost of safety versus the benefits. So the first organisation I got involved with in a safety perspective in construction, I spent a lot of time arguing that it wasn't a cost, it was a benefit, and keeping people alive was priceless or invaluable. So that was the first lesson. It's a benefit and we don't argue about the cost. The second lesson I learned was when the company I was working with got called to a Come to Jesus meeting, basically, where the client said, we're not going to work with you anymore because you're not safe enough. And through the client's kind of direction, the business I was working with pulled up their socks and decided that safety was important and it was relevant and it was something that we wanted to become part of our culture. So I learnt that the client leading safety and insisting on safety will feed through the construction chain. The third thing I learnt was that sometimes an accident can be a wonderful way of really changing the culture and helping people understand why it is that safety is so important. So unfortunately, we had someone cut their fingers off on site, but through that accident, the ripple effect through the rest of the team and the guys actually understanding what it meant when someone got hurt and when someone had to go through the rehabilitation process made safety meaningful for the individual, each individual on site. I learnt that culture is way more important than strategy. So we can have a great safety plan, we can have a great safety goal, but ultimately we need the leadership within the organisation to really drive culture within the organisation and make sure that the way we do our business is integrated into working safely. So it's not a separate thing, it's just how we operate and how we do things in this business is we do it safely, and that's the culture. And then the last thing I learned was that we can tell people what we want them to do, we can tell them how we want to do it, we can tell them that we want to do it safely, but the most important message, and the message that's really going to get through to their hearts and minds, is why. Why is it important that safety is part of our culture? It's an integral way of operating. Why is it important? And making it meaningful to the person so that they can carry that with them in their own heart and their own mind while they're on site, and they can look out and they can care for their mates. So what are the challenges moving ahead? Well, I think that one challenge is that we need to continue on helping everybody in the industry, everybody in New Zealand understand that we are all responsible for creating a culture of safety, a culture of caring, a culture of making sure that everyone goes home and that we've all done our best at the end of the day to have positively contributed to that by speaking out when we need to, or pausing and taking 5 minutes to think about something before we do it. We're all responsible for making sure we all go home safely. I think the next big challenge is about continuing to engage employees, continuing to engage everyone in the safety culture and the safety message, rather than having the message come down, thou shalt be safe. It's what is it in it for me? Why do I need to be safe? And help making it really carry home in their hearts. So the next challenge is that by 2020 there's going to be 50 billion devices connected to the internet, right? That's a lot of technology change, and we're facing the next big disruption in work, which is the Internet of Things. So for construction, it's about thinking about how can we take advantage of the technological advances that are coming and use them to make our sites more efficient and, of course, more safe. And then we talk about it's all about culture and engaging the hearts and the minds of the people and giving them a real reason to go home safely and to work safely and to care for each other. But then the next challenge is we're facing automation on a scale that we can't even imagine. There's already a digital citizen in Saudi Arabia, so a robot who's a citizen of a country. So moving forward in construction, how are we going to continue managing a safety culture and safety behaviours with automation kind of coming at us? But lastly, I think the ongoing challenge is the challenge to continuously improve. To, like Jo said prior in her speech, it's about how do we not rest on our laurels? How do we continue to raise the bar? How do we continue turning up every day like a fine-tuned athlete, caring enough about our performance so that when we go home and we're proud of them, the efforts that we did, and we all go home safe, healthy and well. Thank you.